Man, I'm gonna give you guys a minute before we get started. Man, happy Sunday to each and every one of you. Come on in, family. Come on in, man. I'm gonna give you guys a minute before we get started. Today's gonna be kind of deep. What's up with you, Raymond? I'm laughing at your comment, Raymond. Bless you, my brother. Bless you, bless you. Man, family, I've talked about dreams a lot. Who's that? Nika. I apologize. I can't really see the camera because it's so far away. Man, so I got a strain to be able to read your names. Nika, bless you. Thank you for being here. I've talked about dreams quite a bit. You know what I mean? I have over 900, bless you, Paul. I have over 900 something videos, and I've talked about dreams quite a bit. I love dreams. You know what I mean? That's one of the ways that God speak to me and speak through me. You know what I mean? Is through dreams. Man, I have such a fascination with dreams. And I haven't always been that way. God's always used dreams to communicate with me, but I haven't always understood dreams. You know what I mean? Man, I have such a fascination with psychology. Carl Jung, Sigmund Freud, those two are probably Eric Erickson. Those three are probably my favorite psychologists, psychiatrists, you know, um, speaking on dream interpretations, just speaking on dreams, period. Especially Carl Jung. I am a Jungian, you know what I mean? And Carl Jung, his last name is spelled Jung, if you're ever interested. Man, he's my favorite psychotherapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever you want to look up. Carl Jung. Man, dreams are lighthouses. Dreams are lighthouses. And I'm tripping out because so many of us, we talk about dreams and we don't really understand dreams. You know what I mean? And it's trip because we all have dreams. We all have dreams, but we all don't understand our dreams. You know what I mean? Stay with me. We're going to go somewhere today. And it's a trip because, and you guys have heard me say this so many times in the past, what we don't understand, we often demonize. It's just a universal thing, a human thing, you know what I mean? All humanity, we do this. What we don't understand, we often mystify, we demonize, we make it out to be taboo, we make it out to be some weird phenomenon. You know what I mean? We don't understand dream interpretations, or we don't understand our dreams, and so we make it out to be a bad thing. And this is why many of us, we have nightmares, and we take our nightmares and we make it out to be this bad thing, this scary, spooky, demonic thing. You know what I mean? Because we don't understand the lesson, we don't understand the message. And again, what we don't understand, we demonize, we mystify, we blame the devil and all these evil spirits. We blame eating pizza or spicy food and all this stupid shit because we don't understand what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? It's just a universal thing. You know what I mean? And it was the late Dr. Miles Monroe said, where just brain fart. What'd he say? I'm nervous right now. Stay with me. I'll come back to that thought in a minute. And so what happens is when we don't understand something, man, again, we'll shun it. You know what I mean? We'll just blow it off. Oh, that was nothing. I didn't understand my dream. That was crazy. That was just stupid. That didn't make no sense and blah, blah, blah. And we'll completely turn our backs on it. You know what I mean? Never understanding that the dreams that we have are projections of what's going in our subconscious thoughts. All dreams, all dreams are a lighthouse to our subconscious thoughts. But because we can't really see what's in our subconscious thoughts, because the great majority of us are terrified or going deep within. Most of us are terrified of doing the shadow work, doing the dark nights of the soul, the work, the inner work. You know what I mean? And so we don't understand our subconscious thoughts, which you, Eileen. We don't understand the quote unquote demons that we're battling and that we're going to war with within our subconscious mind. Most of us are so superficial, we stay right up in here, in our conscious thoughts. And we think that's all there is to life, is what's going on in our subconscious thoughts. Never even understanding, man, you can't understand who you are. You can't be all that you came here to be. You can't reach your full potential. You can't heal whatever traumas and dramas you're dealing with until you go deep within your subconscious thoughts. Our mind is like the iceberg theory. You've heard me talk about this in the past. I don't care how big the iceberg is. It doesn't matter how huge it is above the water. That's only 10% of the total iceberg. However tall that mountain of ice is that you see above the water, 90% of the total weight, 90% of the total mass of that piece of ice is up under the water, and you can't see it. That's our thoughts. That's our subconscious thoughts. That's our conscious. That's our mind. Stay with me. And so what you see, what you understand in your mind, that's only 10% of what's going on. The other 90% is up under our subconscious, in our subconscious thoughts. That's who we really are. That's what we're struggling with. That's our demons. That's our monsters. That's our nightmares. Doing the shadow work. Doing the shadow work takes us, we have to dive within. We have to go within internally to see who we are, to understand who we are. And so we have all these dreams of all these different things, and it don't matter what they are. The dreams that we have in our subconscious thoughts, man, they're just showing us, hey, there's something that's going on right here that you need to deal with. You won't deal with this consciously. You won't deal with this in your everyday life. And so, man, your mind, universe, conscious, universal consciousness, God, source, the Most High, they give us these dreams so that we can learn to deal with whatever's going on within us. Years ago, I was a little kid, and again, God would always give me these dreams, and I never understood them. But as this little kid, I'm sitting next to the shore. You know, it's like this huge gulf of water. And I had the ability to talk to animals. And I had the ability to understand animals, and they understood me. You know what I mean? And so I'm sitting next on the shore, on the beach. And I'm a Pisces. I love the water. You know what I mean? I love the water. That's my sanctuary. That's my resting place. You know what I mean? And so I'm sitting on this beach, and I'm just looking over this gulf of water. And it's my responsibility to look out for all the animals. It's my responsibility to protect all of the animals in the water and out of the water. And so I'm sitting there, and the deer are coming out from the tree lines, and all these other animals are coming out, and they're just hanging out with me on the shoreline. And we're just chopping it up, turtles, squirrels, chipmunks, everybody's there. And we're just having a good old time, just laughing and chopping it up. And I'm just overlooking the water because it's my responsibility to protect these animals. And so we're just laughing and chopping it up. And I look to my left, and I see this black duck come out of nowhere. And there's something weird about this duck, because everywhere it stepped, it left a black footprint. And so me being a kid, looking at this, is like, man, that's not logical. That doesn't make sense. And I'm trying to understand, how is it that this duck is leaving a black footprint on the sand? That's not logical. That's impossible. And so it appeared as though the duck was filled with tar, like tar covered this duck, because it was that black. It was shiny and oily looking, and it was like, everywhere it stepped, it left a footprint. And so that piqued my interest, and I jumped up and I'm watching this duck. And everywhere it stepped, there's a black footprint on the sand. And I'm tripping out on it, and I'm talking to the animals, telling them that's not right. There's something wrong with that duck. There's something wrong with this duck. I can't put my finger on it, but it's not normal. Because logic says if it's wet and it took a step in the sand would stick to the bottom of the duck's feet. And so there wouldn't be a black footprint because the sand would be stuck to the bottom of the duck. But that's not what was happening. And so the duck was walking towards me. And then it looked at me, and probably like 50 yards off, and it dove in the water. And I'm like scared. It's like, oh, heck no. And so I dive in the water. And I'm yelling to all the fish. I'm yelling to all the animals. Man, Get out the way. Get out the way. There's something wrong with this duck. There's a duck here, and it's not normal. There's something wrong with this duck. This duck is here to cause harm. This duck is here to do something. And so all the fish are scattering. Man, the snakes, the shells, everything. Man, everything is shrimp. Everything is just like boom, ghosts, right? Except for this one fish. And this fish is just completely oblivious to what I was saying. And I'm yelling at this fish, and everything else is hearing me. But this one fish ain't paying attention. This one fish is in la la land. This one fish is completely ignoring me. And I'm yelling at the top of my lungs underwater to this fish and to everything else. Get out the way. Pay attention. Listen to me. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to save you. And this fish is just in la la land. And the duck just swooped in, grabbed it, swallowed it up, and got out the water and walked away. I got out the water, and I'm this kid, and I'm broken. I'm sitting on the shore just crying my heart out. And all the animals are coming to me, and they're asking me what's wrong. And I feel like a failure. I feel like I failed God. I failed my responsibility. My responsibility was to be this shepherd. My responsibility was to watch out for the animals. My responsibility was to keep everybody safe. And this fish lost its life. And I'm shook. Because I feel like I'm going to be punished. Like God is going to say, I failed him because I didn't watch out for this fish. I did keep this fish alive. And so I'm terrified that God's going to hold that fish blood over my head. And so I'm shook. And all the fish are coming up. All the animals come back out and they're talking to me. They're trying to console me. They're telling me, man, you did your job. You warned us. You know, you gave us warning. You talked to us and you told us da-da-da-da. You told us that, man, you did what you were supposed to do. And nothing the animals told me consoled me. Nothing the animals told me brought me any peace, brought me any joy, because I was broken that this fish lost his life on my guard. I was responsible for all the fish, and this fish lost its life. And nothing these animals said, or nothing they could say, was going to bring this fish back. And I felt like a failure. And the dream ended. And I didn't realize until later, much later. I had that dream as a kid, and I never forgot that dream. And I never understood what that dream meant. But as a kid, that dream terrified me. As a kid, that dream made me like, fuck responsibility. You know what I mean? I don't want to be responsible for nobody's fucking life. I'm not going to be responsible for anybody's life. I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to be a preacher. I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to be a shepherd. I don't want to be responsible for other people's lives. And so I lived my life based on that dream. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to advise people. I didn't want to console people. I didn't want to be responsible for helping people, mentoring people, and all that other stuff, because I felt like I was going to fail. Understand, as a kid, my whole life I was told I was a failure. You know what I mean? My whole life I was told as a failure. My whole life, man, my father didn't want nothing to do with me. My father rejected me. My family rejected me. They told me I was damned to hell. So I felt like a failure. I felt like I was going to fail at everything that I was supposed to do. So why try? Why try if you know you're going to fuck it up? Why try if you know you're going to fuck up these people's lives? Why try? So, fast forward. I'm laying there one day. I'm in LA at the time. An adult, grown in person. 26 years old. And I still remember that dream. And I'm asking God, man, what did that dream mean? Why does this dream stand with me? Because up until that time frame, I had that dream as a little kid. But I remembered as though I had that dream yesterday. And so I'm talking to God, man, what did that mean? What did that mean? And so God's talking to me. He said, Elijah, you can't run from your purpose. Stay with me. You can't run from what you were called here to do. Your whole life, you tried to run from this purpose. From your whole life, you tried to run from your calling. You can't run. I don't care what you do. You can't run. I'm here to tell you, you can't run from your purpose. You're going to have to face your purpose. You're going to have to face the reality of why you're here. You're going to have to do your shadow work and go through your dark nights of the soul. You're going to crash and burn until you get to the point of surrendering and acknowledging, man, I can't run from this. I can't escape this. It is what it is. I came here for this. I came here from this. And God had to show me. There's a story in the Bible about this guy named Jonah. And I never really understood the story. And God had to show me, Elijah, that's what your dream represented. Your life, the dream represented your life. That's the story of Jonah. And see, most of us, we think that the stories in the Bible, man, they're great stories, but they don't apply to us. They're great stories of all these people that lived so long ago. They're great stories of all these people, man, that God used mightily. They're great stories of these people, of these Hebrews, and these people that died a long time ago. And man, nobody really remembers them. And they were cool people, and they're supposed to teach us something. But what we don't understand is that every story in the Bible is applicable to our own individual lives. I'm going to say this again. Every story in the Old Testament is a persona of your life. You just never understood the big picture. You just never understood the connection or the correlation because we've been told that they're great stories, and that's all we understood them as was stories. And so God showed me, Elijah, Jonah was told to go somewhere, told to go to Nineveh. Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh for whatever reason. Jonah thought he can outrun his purpose. Jonah thought he can ignore the calling of God on his life. Jonah thought he could do something different. So he jumps on his boat to run away from his calling, to run away from what God called him to do. And a storm came up, and they threw him overboard. And he went down into the deep. And this great fish swallowed him up. 3 days he's in the belly of this fish. Until he finally surrenders. And the fish spits him up on the land. And where does the fish spit him up at? The fish spits him up on the shore of Nineveh. Right where he was supposed to be. Right where he was supposed to be. He thought he was running away. He thought he was escaping his responsibilities. And a storm came. And he thought he was going to die. He'd rather die than go where God sent him. Many of us, we're going through some challenging times. We're going through difficult times. And I get that. And what God is saying, you're going to have to go deep within your subconscious thoughts to understand why you're right where you're at. To understand why you're going through the hell that you're going through. You think it's just coincidental that you're facing all of these challenging circumstances. You think it's ironic that, man, your life is falling apart right here, right now. And God has said, no, there are no coincidences. I got you right where I want you. You got to go through this. And some of you think, man, I'm going to escape this. I'm not dealing with this. And God is saying, yeah, you are. You're going to. If that means you have to crash and burn, you're going to face this head on. And you're going to deal with whatever issues you have. You're going to have to understand why you're so terrified of doing what you came here to do. Why you're so shook. What is it that has you so shook? What is it about your dreams that makes you think they're nightmares? What is it about your dreams that terrify you? What is it about your dreams that keep you up late at night, scared to go to sleep? What is it about your dreams that you're scared of seeing? You're scared of experiencing? See, your dreams are projections of your mind. Your dreams are windows into your subconscious thoughts of who you really are, of why you are the way you are, why you're where you're at, why all your relationships fail, why you're financially messed up, why your businesses keep falling apart, why you feel so lonely, why you feel unwanted, why you're so depressed, why you're so suicidal. The answer to all of those things are in the subconscious thoughts. But you don't want to go into the subconscious thoughts. You don't want to face those demons. You don't want to go through the dark night of the soul. You don't want to deal with your shadow work. My queen and I were watching a movie earlier on Netflix. Awesome movie. Slumberland. Slumberland on Netflix. Check it out. Man, I encourage everyone to see that movie. If you have a question about dreams, watch Slumberland on Netflix. The trip is, that's all of us. There's about this little girl and her uncle. She don't know it's her uncle. She's having these dreams and she's out doing different things. And there's this guy in her dream. She doesn't understand why she's going through what she's going through. She doesn't understand why she's having all the experiences that she's having in her dream. What's up with you, Sean's workout? And it's not until she meets this lady. And this lady explains to her what dreams really are. This lady explains to her, man, that the dreams are our subconscious thoughts, our experiences. And this lady's explaining different things to her. Gives her an understanding of why she keep having the same stuff, the same experiences. Slumberland. It's a trick that they put that movie out. See, most people, we watch movies and we never understand the depths of these movies. And we sit there in our conscious mind and we just watch it for entertainment. Never understand the depths of the wisdom, the depths of the intellect behind it, the true meaning behind it. Slumberland. We have dreams. Regardless of what your dreams are, they're there to show you something. They're there to reveal something to you. And many of us, we blow it off. Many of us will go get books and we'll just say, oh man, I had dreams of a fish. Oh, that means somebody's getting pregnant and somebody's knocked up. Oh, I had a dream of a snake and that means this and that. Oh, I had dreams over water and that means that. That's superficial bullshit. Don't allow these books and these people to demonize or to minimize the interpretation of your dream. You're going to have to do the work. You are going to have to do the work. You are going to have to face your fears. You're going to have to humble yourself and acknowledge you don't understand everything. You don't know everything. And if the truth be told, most of the shit we think we know is stupid shit. Most of the shit we think we know is superficial shit. But we won't dive deep into our subconscious mind. We won't get the deep meanings of these dreams, the deep meanings of what all this stuff means. Because we think we're so damn woke. Because we think we're so damn deep and we're so damn understanding and wise already. And so we apply superficial meanings to our dreams. Because we won't dive deep. Because we won't dive deep. Man, we have to grow up. We have to understand that dreams aren't there to scare us. Dreams aren't there to terrify us. That's God's way of getting us to deal with some shit our conscious thoughts don't want to deal with. That's God's way of getting us to see some shit we don't want to see. We have to grow up. I remember years ago, I had a dream. Well, before the dream, there's this young lady that I was dating in high school by the name of Angel Brown. Angel was cool, good person. Angel started liking me. She met my sister first at the church we was going to. And she's my sister's friend. But she had this crush on me. And I started liking her back. You know, we had this cool vibe. And me and Angel would start kicking it, right? And my older sister got jealous of Angel. She got jealous of me. Because the fact, and she liked Angel first. And I'm not, there's no dating anything, but that was her friend. But Angel would want to spend more time with me. Angel would call and my sister would answer the phone and Angel would talk to her for a few minutes. But she was always trying to get to me. And my sister was jealous of that. When we went to church, she would say hi to my sister Renee and woo-doo-doo, but she was always trying to make a beeline straight to me. She would cut school and she would come see me. And my sister hated that. My sister was so jealous of that. One day my sister called her up and told her all kinds of stupid shit. Told her all kinds of lies and bullshit. to get Angel to stop liking me. And that broke Angel's heart. Because she didn't think that my sister would lie to her like that. And that fucked our relationship up. And Angel moved to moved to Kansas City to go stay with her grandmother. Angel had already been through a whole lot of shit. And this fucked her up. Because she couldn't tell heads from tails. Because of the shit that she's already gone through in life. And now her quote-unquote friend is telling her something about this guy that she really likes. She's telling her something about her quote-unquote brother. And this Angel wouldn't think that this girl, my sister, would lie on her brother like that. So it had to be the truth. But it was all bullshit. And so Angel left. And years later, I never got the chance to talk to her because when I called her, she wouldn't accept my calls. What's up with you, Yamela? And so she moved to Kansas City. Years later, I was in high school. Years later, I was an adult. And I had a dream. And in my dream, I was in Kansas City. And I was looking for Angel. I had never been to Kansas City. And I didn't even understand why I was quote unquote having this dream. Didn't even know I was having a dream. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. So I'm in Kansas City. And I get out of this house. I'm gonna get out of this car, and this is the hood. And I'm asking people, man, do you know Angel? I'm looking for this young lady, Angel. And I'm describing to them what she looked like. And they're like, yeah, I know her. She works at such and such a restaurant. And I'm like, I'm not from here. Where's that at? They take me to this restaurant. And I'm sitting there. And Angel comes over. I'm an adult now. Last time I saw her, man, I was in 10th grade. We're grown now. And I look at her, and she looks the same. But I'm no longer attracted to her the way that I was before. I'm no longer connected to her the way I was before. And she sees me. And she puts her head down. And I call out to her, Angel, Angel. And she comes over. She says, I can't talk now. Tears coming down her eyes. I can't talk now. I get off in an hour. Wait for me. I'm like, okay. So I sit there and I wait for her. She gets off work. And she comes back. And we're sitting there at the table, talking. And I give her a hug. I don't even know what I always talked about. But I give her a hug. And I get up and I walk out the door. As I walk out the door, I walk into the light. And the dream ends. And I wake up and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. God, what the heck was that? And God tells me, Elijah, you had to go to Kansas City to see Angel. And I'm like, what? I don't understand this dream. And God tells me, it was a dream to you, but it was reality. You had to travel. And see, some of us, we call that astral traveling, astral projecting. You had to go to Kansas because you had an attachment. You had unresolved issues. How can I say this? There wasn't any finality. There wasn't any closure there. Ever since you was a kid, there wasn't closure there. And so I had to take you all the way to Kansas so you could meet this young lady again. So you could talk to her again, and so there could be some closure. Because you could have never healed and moved on in your life until you had closure on this situation. You see it as a dream because that's the only way you can understand it. And so it came across to you as a dream, but it was real. It was real. You had to have closure. The only way you could move beyond this and that hurt and that pain was for you to go back and see this person again. To talk to her again, to have closure. So I go back and I'm talking to my older sister. And I'm telling her, man, that was crazy that you told Angel all this stuff. Because I was mad at my sister for lying on me. And I'm asking my sister, why did she do what she did? Because since I was a kid, I held this against my sister. I was angry at my sister for being messy, for being lying, for being a liar and manipulative. And she's telling me, well, Angel was molested as a kid and she did all this other stupid shit that she's telling me as justification as to why she did what she did. And I didn't even give a damn about all the shit Angel gone through. I didn't care that she'd been molested. I was molested. You know what I mean? I didn't give a fuck what happened to her as a kid. I was angry and mad at my sister for fucking up the relationship. And God had to give me some closure. I had to have closure. And I'm sharing that with you because many times we have dreams. And they're not always dreams, but we understand the experiences as a dream. Sometimes it comes across as a vision. Because we don't understand what astral projecting is. We don't understand what astral traveling is. And God allows us to believe that it's a dream. Because that's the only way our conscious mind can understand what's going on. And so we travel energy. Our soul travels. And so I ended up in Kansas. Why? Because that's where I had to have closure. I had to deal with this rejection and this pain and this loss. I'm talking to you about this movie Slumberland. This little girl, she keeps having these dreams and she's in the water. She's trying to find her daddy. She wants to be reconnected with her daddy. She wants to be reconnected with her daddy. So she's going through anything, everything, just to be connected with her daddy again, just to see her daddy again. And so she's reconnected with her daddy at the end of the movie. Why? So that she can understand it and have some closure. So that she can heal that broken little girl within her. so she can heal that pain and that abandonment that she was going through and that she felt. Why do you have the dreams you have? So that you can heal. So that you can understand what's gone on in your life. And many times our dreams come across as a movie. Just playing out, and there's all these different moving parts. And each of these parts have a significant meaning in our life. Each of the people in these movies, each of these animals or whatever creatures have significant meanings in our life. But because we don't understand it, we dismiss it. Man, that was weird. Man, that was a nightmare. I had a dream of this monster. I had a dream of these snakes, and they were chasing me, and these monsters were chasing me, and I was scared, and I was running, and all this other crazy shit. They're there to tell you something. They're there to help you understand something. All of those monsters aren't really monsters. You just don't understand them. And so they come across as monsters. Because we're not in alignment with God to understand what they're trying to teach us. What they're trying to show us. Years ago, in '96, I made this quote. Wisdom and love are found deep within the jungles of the mind. But most aren't courageous enough to enter therein and just glance at it from afar. I'm saying it again. In 1996, I wrote this quote down. Wisdom and love are found deep within the jungles of the mind. Most are not courageous enough to enter therein, and they just glance at it from afar. What does that mean? Most of us, the truth be told, most of us, deep stuff. Man, we don't really like deep stuff. We don't really like great wisdom. We don't really like stuff that make us think. And so we just glance at it from afar. We sit way off. Why? Because I don't want to go within the jungles of my mind. Because in the jungle it's dark. In the jungles there's things that's scary. In the jungle, man, I don't know what's going to attack me. In the jungle, I hear different noises and that scares me. In the jungle, I don't know how to navigate my way through. In the jungle, I'm scared of getting lost. That's the same thing with our subconscious thoughts. The jungle is a metaphor for our subconscious thoughts. The jungle is a metaphor for our shadow work. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to understand that nothing can hurt us. Nothing can hurt us. It's a trip when you think about it, man, all the things that scare us. All the things that we're scared of. They keep us from walking in our true power. They keep us from understanding how powerful we really are. And I don't care what it is. Some of us, man, we were scared of heights. Some of us are scared of sleeping in the dark. And so we have to have these little light lamps on in the room. Because we're scared of the dark. What are you scared of? What are you scared of? You're going to have to do the work to understand what you're scared of. And you always always have quote unquote dreams. You see them as nightmares. Of these monsters, of these creatures, of these beings, of these demons, of these animals. And you're scared. And you don't go any further. And what God had to show me was, Elijah, these things, they're there for a reason. See, years ago, when you look at the ancient teachings of Africa, the ancient teachings of Asia, the ancient teachings of the Native Americans, all these deep schools, all these mystery schools, before you can be accepted into these schools, you had to go through some things. You always had to go through some things. It's a trip. When you look at these things, they're always stuff that scares you. There are always challenges and obstacles that challenge you, that scare you. Why? To see if you really want to deal with it. To see if you have what it takes. To see how committed you are. Just because you come knocking at the door don't mean that you're ready. Just because you come to the school, just because you ask to learn Kung Fu, just because you ask to be accepted into the school of wisdom and understanding or whatever, don't mean that you're ready. And so they had these things that you had to go through to test your fortitude, to test your commitment, to test whether or not you really wanted to learn Kung Fu for the right reasons. See, a lot of people say, I want to learn Kung Fu, and the real reason why, because they want to fight. Because they're scared. And so they think by learning Kung Fu, they can learn how to defend themselves. They can learn how to protect themselves. Why? Because they're scared. They're scared somebody might attack them. They're scared that something might happen. What are you scared of? What's terrifying you in your dreams? What's got you shook to where you wake up in a sweat? What has you scared to go to sleep? I don't care how quote unquote demonic it appears. I don't care how big the monster seems. The monster is a figment of your imagination. The monster is a figment that you created. It's something you created. What is it that terrifies you? If you know anything about tarot cards, it's a trip because you hear all these people talking about the journey, the fool's journey, the hero's journey. When you look at all of the superheroes, when you look at Star Wars and the journey of Luke Skywalker, and all the other great heroes, every one of them have the exact same journey. Stay with me. What do I mean the same journey? They face different monsters. They face different nightmares, different dreams, different quote unquote demons. But they all have a journey. They all have the same journey. This is a human journey. This is a universal journey. Every single one of us have a journey. We have the fool's journey. Tarot cards start out with this fool, just a little backpack, not even a backpack, just a little stick and a little bag and his little dog, and he's walking out on his journey, completely oblivious to what he's about to face, completely oblivious to the monsters or the circumstances that he's going to encounter. The hero's journey. It's the same thing. When you look at the great Greek writings and teachings, the Iliad and all these other things, all of them. The story of Homer's Iliad, I believe, or whatever it is, his Odysseys, and all these other stories. They're all telling you the same story. When you look at the Clash of the Titans, man, he has Perseus, he has all these things that he has to go through, all of these monsters and challenges and obstacles he has to face. That's your story. That's my story. That's all of our stories. But what scares you don't necessarily scare me. What scares me may not bother you. And so our monsters appear different. Our obstacles and our challenges appear different. But they're a journey. Unique to you. Why? To help you reach your full potential. To help you become the Jedi that you are supposed to be. To help you become the hero that you're supposed to be. It's all the same story. When you look at Spider-Man, when you look at Superman, when you look at Batman and all these other people, Thor and all these other quote unquote superheroes, every one of them have a unique story of how they got to where they're at. They didn't come into the world as a superhero. They had a story that they had to go through in order to get to where they're at. What's up with you, Wahid? Man, what's your story? What's your story? See, every one of us, we have something different that we had to go through. My story is, man, I've shared it as far as my father rejecting me. My father murdering my mama right in front of me. Been placed with my family that rejected me. Been sexually molested as a 6-year-old kid. Having my heart broke by women time and time again. Losing my brother to colon cancer. Losing a wife to breast cancer. That's my story. That's my story. All of it to help me become the man that I'm supposed to be. All of it to help me become the person that I'm supposed to be. All of it in order to help me become my phoenix or the phoenix. What's your story? What's your nightmare? What's your fear? So many of us, we're terrified of being alone. We're terrified as fuck of being alone. We stay in these toxic ass relationships because we don't want to be alone. We stay around family members that don't mean us no fucking good. But at least we're not alone. Some women, they stay with guys, they know they're married. They know they got other women. They come see this woman once a week, once every other week. But at least she feel like, I'm not alone. I got a part-time man, but I got somebody that's committed to somebody else. And he comes see me from time to time. He texts me from time to time. He calls me from time to time. But at least I'm not alone. He's not the man that I really want. He's not what I really want in a relationship, but it's better than nothing. Some of us as guys, as women too, we're in love with somebody we can't have. We fantasize of being with this being. And we hold on to this being. They're going on with somebody else. And we sit there and talk about, this is my soulmate. This is my twin flame. I'm going to wait for them. Why? Because we're addicted to this being. We're scared of being alone. And so we hold on to this being that don't want fucking shit to do with us. They've showed us and told us they don't want to be with us. They're happily married. They're dating somebody else. Got kids with somebody else. And we still hold on to, this is my twin flame, and I'm just going through this because I'm supposed to. And man, I'm waiting for them to come back to me, and I'm going to be faithful to them, and I'm going to be committed to them. And that's all bullshit. That's bullshit. But we convince ourselves that, man, we're doing the right thing. And the truth is, we're scared as fuck of letting go. We're scared as fuck that nobody wants us. The person we want don't want us. We have all these other people trying to get with us, but we don't want them. We want this motherfucker. What are you really scared of? What are you really scared of? So many of us, we get so caught up, so captivated, and stuck on religion. And we hold on to religion like, man, I'm gonna die without it. I gotta believe in Jesus Christ as my personal savior. I gotta believe that I'm going to heaven. Believe in this. I gotta believe that my life here is gonna be broken and frustrated and lonely and woo-doo-doo, but I'm going to heaven. I'll live happily ever after in heaven. And we hold on to that ignorant ass fucking belief system because we're afraid of dealing with some real shit. And so we say, man, I don't want to go to hell. I'm not going to hell. And so if me being lonely and frustrated and financially ruined the rest of my life, I'll do it, but I'll go to heaven. I'm here to tell you, no, the fuck you ain't. No, the fuck you ain't. That's some childish, fucking immature shit. Because you don't want to grow the fuck up emotionally. You don't want to deal with some real shit. This is a grown folk channel. This is a grown folk channel. We have to grow the fuck up. And I understand everybody ain't ready to hear that. Everybody don't want to hear that. It's a whole lot of people that died believing they were going to the promised land. It's a whole lot of motherfuckers that died thinking they were going to heaven. In World War II, the Japanese, they went out. These pilots, kamikaze pilots, they went out believing that, man, I don't have enough gas to get back to the mainland, get back home. And so I'm gonna die. I'm gonna crash my plane into the enemy. I'm gonna crash and be a martyr and crash, and my family will be rich. My family will be wealthy and be taken care of. And I'll see my family again in the promised land. So I'm doing this for my family. I'm giving up my life for my country. I'm giving up my life for Japan. I'm giving up my life for my family, for my loved ones, so they'll be taken care of. I'll sacrifice who I am. Because they believed in some bullshit. I will see you again in heaven. Some Muslims believed that, man, if I blow myself up with all these people and I kill all these infidels, I'll have all these virgin wives and I'll be in the promised land with all these women loving me. With all these wives, my family will be taken care of. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to grow up emotionally. We have to grow up intellectually. We have to face our fucking demons. They're not even demons. We just made them out to be demons. We made them out to be monsters. Because there's some shit we don't want to deal with. What is it that you're running away from? What is it that's in your subconscious thoughts that got you fucked up? What is it in your subconscious thought that got you hating women? What is it in your subconscious thought that have you hating men? What is it in your subconscious thought that have you hating other nationalities? What is it about your subconscious thought that have you terrified of other ethnicities? That have you terrified of the opposite sex? What is it about your subconscious thoughts that have you terrified of fire? What is it about your subconscious thought that have you so terrified of going to hell? We have to grow up. We have to grow up. I've talked about this in the past. Man, if you read your Bible, in Job chapter 1, God and the devil aren't at fucking war. But yet you have a whole religious belief system that tells you that God and the devil are enemies. And they're at war with each other. And that the enemy is there to dog out and to take as many people as possible away from God. You have a whole religious system based on that stupid ass fucking bullshit. And yet the Bible in Job chapter 1 talks about how God is talking to the devil. How the devil is going back and forth from heaven to hell. That contradicts everything about fucking Christianity. How the fuck can that be possible? How can God kick the devil out of heaven and be at war with the devil and all his angels in Genesis, and yet in fucking Job, the devil got free reign to do what the fuck he want to do? The devil could just walk in heaven anytime he fucking want to. Somebody explain that bullshit to me. Make that stupid ass bullshit make fucking sense. How the fuck could God kick the devil out of fucking heaven in Genesis before all these fucking people got on the fucking planet? Yet in Job chapter 1, it's been generations have walked this fucking planet. And the devil is going back and forth to heaven, hanging out with all the fucking angels. And ain't nobody said shit about it. Ain't nobody ran up to the devil with a sword and wanted to go to war with him. How is that fucking possible? If God and the devil are at fucking war with each other. Because we have to believe some stupid shit. We have to believe in evil and good. There is no evil and fucking good. Grow up. Job chapter 1. God tells the devil, go do such and such to my servant Job. How the fuck is the devil listening to God if he's at war with God? If God and the devil are enemies, why is the devil listening to God? If the God and the devil are enemies, why is God sicking the devil on Job, his man? We have to grow up. I know this is hard to hear. I know it goes against our fucking religious beliefs. Because we've been so fucking programmed to believe the bullshit. We have to have a demon. We have to have a monster. Just like I live in America. Just like America always have to have a fucking enemy. We always got to be at war with somebody. Our government always has to be at fucking war. Why? Why do we always have to be at war? We were at war with ourselves. They were at war with the Indians. They were at war with the British. They were at war with the French. They were at war with Germany. They were at war with Japan and all these other countries. And every time we go to war with a country, right afterwards, that country becomes our fucking friend. Right after the fucking war, that country becomes our fucking ally. Japan bombed the fuck out of America in Pearl Harbor in World War II. America and China were allies in World War II. Japan was the fucking enemy. Italy was the fucking enemy. Germany was a fucking enemy. But right after the fucking war, Italy, Germany became American allies. Right after the war, Japan became an American ally. Japan, Russia, and America were at war with Germany. Right after the war, Russia became an American enemy. Right after the war, China became an American enemy. America always has to have a boogeyman. America always has to have an enemy. And the gullible, ignorant ass fucking citizens will believe anything the fucking government tell it. China is our enemy now. Russia is our enemy now. And so American citizens, I'm a good American citizen, and I no longer like China. I no longer like Russia, and that's our enemy, and you're a fucking communist, and all this other bullshit because we're spoon-fed this bullshit for control. And so when you think about who's the boogeyman in your fucking nightmares, who's the boogeyman in your fucking dreams, why? Why are they the fucking boogeyman? We have to grow up. We have to understand who we are. And that's part of the journey. We have to learn how to navigate through the darkness, through the jungle, through the depths of the water. Most of us aren't courageous enough to do that. We just sit there and accept all the bullshit, lies that we've been spoon-fed. And we hold on to that shit for dear life. And that's why you'll never reach your full potential. That's why you'll never have the power and the authority that you're capable of having. Because you're holding on to some toxic ass bullshit that's preventing you from walking in your superhuman power. That's preventing you from being your superhero. That's why we're always looking for a fucking hero. That's why Marvel and DC, they have all these fucking superheroes. And we're always in love with the fucking superhero. We're always looking for somebody to come fucking rescue us and to save us from the enemy, to save us from the bad guys. That's what we're always looking for, Jesus, to come save us from the devil. That's why we're always holding on to Jesus, Yahshua, to save us from the enemy. Help make this make sense. If God sent the fucking enemy, God sent the enemy, quote unquote enemy. God sent the devil on Job. If God is sending the quote unquote devil on you and anybody, how the fuck are you going to look for Jesus to save you if God sent the devil? That's not even fucking logical. That doesn't even make fucking sense. If God is sending the enemy after you, We have to grow up. And the trick. God sent the devil on Job. Not to destroy Job. It broke Job's heart to lose all of the money that he had. It broke Job's heart to lose all of his kids. It fucked his life upside down. You know what I mean? Fucked his life up. Fucked his world up. He hit his rock bottom. He went through his dark night of the soul. He's living a peaceful life, just a righteous man. Just minding his own fucking business. Successful. Peaceful. And God sent the devil. And God allowed the devil to take all of his money. God allowed the devil to kill all of his kids. God allowed the devil to touch his body and to give him the boils and the body aches or pains, whatever it is that he went through physically. God allowed the devil to do all that shit to Job. Not to destroy Job, but to get Job to sit there and to understand some shit, to face some shit, to deal with some shit. He had to grow through some shit. And because he was willing to grow through it, God blessed him. And gave him double of everything he lost. Double all of the kids he lost. Double the wealth he lost. That's biblical. That's Bible. That's your story. That's my story. What have you lost? How many people have rejected you? How many people have broke your heart? How much money, how many careers, whatever it is that you've lost? Understand. It's part of the process. It's part of your process to help you become all that you're capable of being. To show you how strong and powerful you are. To show you how resilient you are. When you look at all the superheroes, all that they went through was to show them how powerful they were. To show them their strengths. Every superhero has a strength. And that strength is always in correlation to their experiences, their pain, their loss, their hurt. Man, we have to grow up. And once you deal with this stuff, once you face these demons, these monsters, these insecurities, these issues, these traumas, once you grow through it, you become a lighthouse. You become a lighthouse, a beacon of hope, a beacon of light, a beacon of love for the rest of humanity. You become a superhero. You inspire and encourage others. You empower others. This is why we have to face our monsters. This is why we have to face our fears. This is why we have dreams and nightmares. Man, my hope and prayer is that, man, I've said something that's shed some light on where you're at. That shed some light on what you're going through. To help you understand who you are, the power you have. Stop waiting for some superhero to come rescue you. You've got to learn how to grow the fuck up and rescue yourself. And you rescue yourself by facing your fucking demons, by facing your fucking fears and insecurities. And the more you do that, the greater the light within you shines. And the brighter that light becomes. To where you stand before the world as a lighthouse, showing others how to do the same thing. How to navigate through the darkness. How to navigate through the storms of life. Because that's what we came here for. That's who we are. That's where the superhero is. That's what a savior is. That's who you are. You just don't know it. You just don't believe it. Because of your insecurities. You don't think that you can be a savior. You don't think you can understand that you can overcome these demons. So you believe that you have to have a superhero. You believe you have to have a savior. Whether that's Jesus Christ, whether that's Spider-Man, Superman, Aquaman, Batman, Thor, you got all these fucking superheroes, all these fucking saviors. Because you don't believe in yourself. Because you're so stuck and afraid. Because you don't know who you are. Because the wisdom of who you are is hidden in the depths of your subconscious thoughts. And the truth is, you're afraid to dive deep. And so you stay distracted. You stay focusing and looking at other stuff. And you never go deep into understanding the dreams, the visions. Man, I don't know why I had to share this today, but I pray and I hope that something's been said to help you on your journey. And I'm going to end this with namaste. The God in me, the light in me, the wisdom in me sees, acknowledges, cherishes, and love the God, the light, the wisdom within you. You have that power. You are that powerful. Stop being scared. Stop being ashamed. Stop being embarrassed. Stop being intimidated. You're all powerful. Bless you. Happy healing. Peace.